The loud metallic clink of the gate startled Jide awake. He sat up, heart pounding, sweat trickling down his forehead. His eyes darted around the dimly lit room as the sound of the hurried footsteps approached him. He froze when the pounding of the door began. Jide, open this door. Oh, so you think you can mess with other people's life and walk free, bah? An angry woman's voice thundered. It was Grace, the woman he had been avoiding for months. Now, calm down, Grace. Let's not make a scene now. You're making noise. You're waking people up. What was that? Jide called out, trying to sound confident, though his voice slightly trembled. But Grace wasn't having it. A scene? Oh, you are calling me a drama queen, bah? No, I'm a noise maker. In fact, I'm a mad woman now. I will show you what a scene is. Just open this door. Open it before I break down this nonsense door. Jide didn't dare open the door. Instead, he silently cursed under his breath. This wasn't the first time something like this had happened, but it had never escalated to this before. Jide's story began in university, where his reputation for his charm and smooth talking started. At first, he had been an average student, focused on his studies, until he discovered the power of his looks and charisma he held over women. Jide was a very, very handsome man, tall and dark, an apple of every girl's eyes, as they would say. It all started with a small favor. Kemi, a bright student with a shy classmate, had offered to share her notes with him after he missed a lecture. Jide noticed how her eyes lingered on him and decided to test the water. "You are a lifesaver, Kemi," he said, flashing his signature smile. "I owe you one." Kemi blushed. "It's nothing really. Anytime you need help, just ask." From that day on, Jide began to lean on Kemi. She helped him with his assignments, tutored him for exam, cooked for him, and even took him out on expensive dates, just in a bid to win his heart. But while Kemi believed their bond was special, Jide had other plans. At the same time, Jide was seeing Amaka, a law student with a sharp mind and a soft spot for him. She was his opposite, focused and ambitious, but Jide knew how to make her feel like she was the only woman in his life. "You are different, Amaka," he would tell her during night phone calls. "I see a future with you. You are very beautiful, and besides, you are not like every other woman." What Amaka didn't know was that while she was helping him with job application, Jide was out with Kemi, enjoying home-cooked meals and borrowing money for nights out with his friends. His lies were seamless. "I can't make it tonight," he would tell Kemi. "Oh, my mom is sick." He would text Amaka, "Can't wait to see you. I've been thinking about you all day." When his friends found out about his lifestyle, they were impressed. Jide, my guy, you are living the dream. See how you are just finding your way through these women. My guy. Guy, it's not that deep, Jare," Jide would reply, laughing. "These girls just don't know how to play the game. They don't know. Very, very stupid girls." By the time Jide graduated, Kemi and Amaka had discovered the truth and cut ties with him, but Jide didn't care. After all, he has had enough with them. He had his degree and a taste of a thrill of deception. After moving to Lagos, Jide landed a job at a prominent consulting firm. He quickly became an office charmer. Jide had a knack of making every woman feel like she was the center of his universe. He would compliment the receptionist's smile, bring coffee for the HR manager, and usually touch his female colleagues' arm during conversation. "Bola, you are too smart for this place," he told one of his teammates after a meeting. "You deserve to be running your own company." Bola who had always felt overlooked, found herself blushing. Jide's words were like honey, and soon they were meeting for drinks after work. At the same time, Jide had his eye on Linda, a striking marketing executive. He would accidentally bump into her in the elevator, flashing his signature smile. "You are the reason this office feels alive," he would tell her. "Without you, oh my God, that office would be very boring. You know, these women, they don't even know how to hold simple conversations. But with you, it is seamless. You make everybody laugh." Linda would laugh, brushing off his flirtations. But Jide didn't give up. Within weeks, he had taken her out for dinner, convincing her she was the one who he truly cared about. The truth? Jide wasn't serious with any of them. For him, it was all a game, a way to pass time and boost his ego. But Jide's escapades didn't stop at the office. One Friday night, Jide would often be at high-end bars in Lagos, where he had hunted for new conquests. With his tailored suits and smooth talk, handsome, tall, dark man, he was impossible to ignore. He had a routine. He'd walk into bars, scan the room, and pick his targets. One night, he spotted Anita, a young banker, celebrating her promotion. She was laughing with her friends when Jide approached. "Excuse me," he said, flashing his perfect smile. "I couldn't help but notice you. You light up this entire room." Anita's friends giggled, nudging her to respond. She rolled her eyes and smiled back. "Is it your best line?" Come on, it's not a line," he said, leaning in. "It's the truth. I walked into this bar, and the first person I noticed was you because of your bright smile. I'm serious when I said your smile lightens up the whole room." By the end of the night, Jide had her number. But what Anita didn't know was that Jide had pulled the same move with another woman just yesterday. Everything changed when Jide met Adora. Unlike the women he had charmed in the past, Adora was confident, independent, and immune to his usual tricks. When Jide first saw Adora at a mutual friend's wedding, he was struck by her confidence. She wasn't like the women he had usually pursued. She was dressed in a simple and yet elegant gown. She carried herself with an air of self-assurance that was both intimidating and intriguing. As he approached her, he rehearsed his usual lines in his head. But when he introduced himself, Adora didn't melt under his charm. Instead, she looked him straight into the eyes. "Jide, I've heard about you. You're not as impressive as you think." Jide was stunned. No woman has ever spoken to him like that. While others frowned over his looks and charisma, Adora seemed completely uninterested. And that only made him want her more. Jide spent weeks trying to win Adora over. He sent flowers to her office, left sweet notes on her car, and called her every night just to hear her voice. "Why are you doing this?" Adora asked him one night over dinner. "Because you are different." Jide replied sincerely, "You are not like anyone I've ever met." Adora looked at him with a raised eyebrow. "Different? As in how? Are you trying to whine me?" "You challenge me, Ada," he said as he laid his hands on hers. "You make me want to be better." Adora laughed softly. "But we will see how serious you are." For the first time in his life, Jide felt like he was chasing someone he couldn't have. It wasn't about the thrill anymore. He genuinely wanted Adora in his life. Over the next few months, Jide transformed. He stopped going to bars, he ignored flirtations from his female colleagues. His friend even noticed the change. Are you sure you are okay, Jide? Kunle teased. The Jide I know does not commit. Guy, what is going on now? Are you sure that this girl is not an angel in disguise? Because it only takes God to come down and change my guy. I'm serious about her, Jide said. Adora is different. She makes me want to settle down. Hey. See this guy. In the talk settle down. Kunle shook his head. Shall be careful, my guy, you. Not every woman you meet is as naive as the ones you've played with. Jide laughed. Naive, ke? Adora is anything but naive. She's strong, she's independent, she does not take nonsense. That is why I respect her. What Jide didn't know was that Adora had her own reasons for agreeing to date him. She had heard about him long before they met. One of her closest friends, Amaka, had been one of Jide's many victims in the university. Amaka had been devastated after discovering what Jide did to her, about how he had been lying and cheating and collecting money from her, taking advantage of her innocence. She cried on Adora's lap for weeks, swearing that she would never trust another man. When Adora met Jide at the wedding and recognized him, she decided to teach him a lesson he would never forget. I'm going to make him fall in love with me, Adora told Amaka, and I'll show him what it feels like to be used and discarded. Amaka hesitated. Ada, are you sure? What if he hurts you in the process? Adora's jaw tightened. I won't let him. This isn't about love. It is about justice. It is about revenge and making him feel the weeks of heartbreak you felt. For 6 months, Adora played her role perfectly. She let Jide believe he was the one in control, but she carefully kept her walls up. While Jide was planning their future, Adora was planning his downfall. Jide introduced her to his family, took her on trips, and even started talking about marriage. Do you see us together forever? He asked her one evening as they walked along the beach on a romantic dinner date. Adora smiled softly. Maybe, if I behave myself. Jide laughed, but his heart was so full. For the first time in his life, he felt so complete. The night Adora's plan came to full force, Jide had been planning to propose. He had bought a ring and invited her over for a romantic dinner, but Adora arrived late and distracted. Oh baby, what's wrong? Jide asked, noticing her distant expression. We need to talk, she said, sitting down. Jide's stomach tightened. What is it? Have I done anything wrong? Did you have a rough day at work or something? Adora hesitated and then said, I have been seeing someone else, Jide. Jide felt the air leave his lungs. What? I don't understand. Why? I thought we were happy. I thought we were in this together. Adora looked at him, her expression unreadable. Do you remember Amaka? Amaka now? Ami, your Ami baby. The name hits Jide like a punch. Ami baby, Amaka. What does she have to do with this? She's my best friend, Adora said calmly. She told me everything you did to her, and not just her, to the others. Kemi, Bola, Anita. Should I go on? Should I continue? Oh, you think I'm a fool? No, you think I am a fool, Jide. Jide's face turned pale. Adora, that was in the past. I've changed. I love you. You changed me. Adora laughed. Change, Ke. You call this change? You don't know the meaning of that word though, I must tell you. I wanted you to feel what it is like to be lied to be played with, and now you know. She stood up, grabbed her bags. Goodbye, Jide. I hope you learned something from this. Jide was left alone, devastated, angry, and hot, staring at the ring he had planned to give to her. The realization hit him like a wave. He had been Adora's revenge plan all along. In weeks that followed, his life spiraled out of control. Adora's departure exposed the cracks he had been ignoring for years. His colleagues found out about his office affairs. His boss fired him for misconduct, and his friends distanced themselves from him. But the worst part was the guilt. For the first time, Jide truly understood the pain he had caused others. Sitting alone in his apartment, he replayed Adora's words in his mind. He had been so sure that he had escaped his past, but karma had caught up with him for the most devastating way. From that day on, Jide vowed to change, but deep down, he knew some wounds, both his and others, might never be healed. Thank you everyone for watching. What are your thoughts on this story? Are there life lessons to learn from this story? Share it in the comment section so that we can know your thoughts. Also, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Also turn on your notification bell so that whenever we post new videos, you'll be the first to get the notification. Please stay tuned, and more interesting stories are coming your way from this channel. Thank you so much.